The idea that there are no eternal enemies or friends in politics reflects the reality that political alliances and enmities are often driven by strategic interests rather than permanent loyalties or deep-rooted animosities. Global politics offers numerous examples where countries have shifted from adversaries to allies, or vice versa, depending on changing circumstances. Here are some notable examples. 1. United States and Vietnam, from enemies to partners. During the Vietnam War, 1955-1975, the US and North Vietnam were bitter enemies. The US supported South Vietnam against the Communist North in a devastating conflict. However, after the war ended and Vietnam unified under communist rule, diplomatic relations between the two nations were normalized in 1995. Current relations. Today, the US and Vietnam enjoy strong economic and military cooperation, particularly due to mutual concerns about China's growing influence in the South China Sea. Despite their historical animosity, shared strategic interests have led to a partnership. 2. United States and China, from allies to rivals. During World War II, the US and China, under Chiang Kai-shek's nationalist government, were allies against Japan. However, after the Communist Revolution in 1949, US-China relations soured, leading to decades of Cold War tension, especially after China's involvement in the Korean War against US forces. Shift to engagement. In 1972, President Richard Nixon's historic visit to China marked the beginning of rapprochement, eventually leading to full diplomatic relations in 1979. The US engaged China economically, viewing it as a potential ally in the Cold War against the Soviet Union. Current relations. While the two countries engaged economically for decades, recent years have seen growing rivalry, particularly over trade, technology, and military influence in Asia, marking another shift from cooperation to competition. 3. Germany and France. Historic enemies. Germany and France fought multiple wars against each other, most notably the Franco-Prussian War 1870-1871, and the two world wars in the 20th century. After World War II, Germany and France reconciled and became the driving forces behind European integration. The creation of the European Coal and Steel Community, 1951, and later the European Union, 1993, were designed to ensure that the two nations would never go to war again. Current relations. Today, Germany and France are close allies and are considered the engine of the European Union, showing how bitter enemies can become partners. 4. United States and Russia, from allies to Cold War rivals. During World War II, the US and the Soviet Union were allies against Nazi Germany. However, this alliance quickly unraveled after the war, leading to the Cold War, a period of intense rivalry and competition for global influence. Post-Cold War cooperation and new tensions. After the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, the US and Russia initially enjoyed improved relations. However, tensions resurfaced in recent years, particularly after Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014 and its involvement in Ukraine. The US and Russia are again seen as strategic rivals, though they cooperate on some issues like arms control. 5. India and the United States. From Cold War estrangement to strategic partners. During the Cold War, India pursued a policy of non-alignment but leaned toward the Soviet Union for support, particularly after the US established closer ties with Pakistan. Relations were often strained between India and the US. Current relations. Since the early 2000s, US-India relations have significantly improved, particularly in the context of shared concerns about China's rise. India is now seen as a key strategic partner for the US in the Indo-Pacific region, reflecting a significant shift in their relationship.